to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, which is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi is described in this verse where she's adorned with garlands of pearls and jewels. Let us now chant this verse describing the beauty of Devi Parashakti. Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham Shinjannu purakinkini manidharam padma prabhabasuram Sarvabhita palapradam girisuttam vani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidhim. In the translation of this verse, it says, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing, and you can make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, and you can be showered with the pure love and compassion of Devi Parashakti in all of your business endeavors. You can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
And we have the next this next offering, which is the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. And beautifully in the Kamakagama, it describes how the Kalashas should have the lotus flower as a decoration. It says that all the Kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with a lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references for the golden lotus and for the lotus being offered in worship of Paramashivam, Parashakti. And almost everything in worship of the ultimate involves a consecration of deities, of worship or meditation on, or the mudras and asanas used during the worship involves a lotus flower, the lotus leaf, lotus pericarp, and lotus petals. The lotus is thus considered as a divine flower. And even Shakti of Paramashiva is called as the lotus, and the base of the Paramashiva linga is also a lotus. And the disciple of Paramashiva is also considered as the lotus which is about to be. You can offer this golden lotus in any size which you wish and be blessed to have the space and powers and being of Devi in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situation in life.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti, which is the gold toe ring. And these verses describe the beauty of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. Let us now chant these verses. It says, Nakadiditi Sanchanna Namajjanatamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha. And the translation of this verse, it says, You whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. And you can make the offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring to Devi Parashakti, to adorn her for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of life. So you can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next offering that we have is the Swarna Mang Tika. And that is a golden hairline jewelry. And there's also another very, very beautiful significance behind this Mang Tika. In the Lalita Sahasranamam, Devi Parashakti is referred as Shuddha Sarvi Varshini, means she who makes the nectar flow in all of our nerves from the Sahasrara. She who's the one who gives very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Sahasrara Chakra, for those of you who may not know, is the chakra or the energy center at the crown center, at the very top of our heads, and it's represented by the 1,000-petaled lotus. And when that is open, it is literally considered as enlightenment. The Mantika thus represents the nectar which is flowing from the open Sahasrara chakra and is literally represented by that gold chain which is going from the center of the head until the forehead. So it has such a beautiful significance. Even the jewelry in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which is used to adorn the deities. And you can offer this Mantika to Devi in order to be blessed with the being in gratitude, even in all the different aspects of your life, whether it might be a difficult situation or whether you might find yourself in a stable, happy family and happy situation. You will be blessed to have an experience of overflowing gratitude and a space of complete
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is one of the most sacred and most yearned for offerings of a disciple to offer to Guru. And the various verses of Saundarya Lahari describe the beauty of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And in some of the verses, it is described that the illumining splendor of Devi's toenails dispel the darkness of ignorance in the devotees prostrating at her feet, and her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. And the verses further state that the toenails of Devi Parashakti have been constantly sharpened by being touched by the crowns of the celestial beings who prostrate before Devi, and Tamoguna, which is the darkness indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees, is removed by prostrating before Devi, and they attain the supreme knowledge. And you can offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja to Devi Parashakti and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. We can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/savas.
And the next offering we have is the Vastra Seva. And again, during the Vidi Puja, there's an offering of the Vastram, the cloth, to adorn Bhagavan. And the offering of the Vastra Seva blesses any of the Yajaman with all of auspiciousness and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And once again, you can make this offering at kailasamailer.com/seva.
And here we have a summary of the various offerings to Devi Parashakti that you can offer to Devi Parashakti during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan today. Blessings and welcome her in your life. So the e-hundi offerings can be made in multiple currencies and in any amount as you wish to offer. The Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, you can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu is the offering of the pure gold coin, where each coin is inscribed with one of the 1,008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, and you can and any number of coins as you wish to offer. The Mukta Anguti is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, and you can make this offering in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa is the gold lotus flower, and you can make this offering also in 3 different sizes on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The Swarna Metti is the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika is the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. And the Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most sacred ritualistic offerings to Guru, and you can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the Vastra Seva is the offering of the sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti. And you can register for all of these traditional ornaments and sevas on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And let us now take a look at the website where we can make all of these traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan today.
So now we're just going through a run through.
So here you can make the e-hundi offerings in multiple currencies. The e-hundi offerings can be made in the US dollar, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Indian rupee, the Singaporean dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, the Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can offer any amount of your choice. So you can register for the e-hundi offerings and make your offering in multiple currencies and any amount of your choice. And you can also register for the various offerings of the ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti through this website, where you can offer the Sankalpa chanting, which is the conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti, the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which can be offered in 3 different sizes, the Mukta Anguti, which is the offering of the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. You can make this offering in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Meti is the offering of the gold toe ring for the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika is the gold hairline jewelry adorning the crown of Devi Parashakti. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja is the ritualistic offering of gratitude to Guru, and you can register for this offering also on the website. And the Vastra Seva is the offering of the sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti. And all of these offerings are available for registering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And with this, now we'll be moving to the next segment of this program, where we'll be learning more about the various facilities being made available for the care and well-being of humanity through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa, as guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. So let us now learn more about the various contributions of Kailasas and of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to give the superconscious breakthrough to humanity and to guide us through this pandemic, to take us through this pandemic and towards a superconscious breakthrough. So let us now move to the next segment of the program in just a few minutes. Please stay tuned for the next segment.
yes, we'll be going into the next segment shortly. And before that, once again, inviting all of the viewers to see and make an offering today. You can also make an offering through the YouTube Super Chat. If you are a member of Kailasa's SPH and NITHYANANDA YouTube channel, this is a very, very exclusive platform where more than 7,000 videos are uploaded, and you can literally spend your whole day, anytime you have, just spending time in the spiritual cognitions, in the superconscious energy radiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and in the wisdom that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is continuously giving, the ultimate wisdom in order to manifest our reality as we want it. The powerful cognitions that help us break our mental patterns and go beyond our mundane thinking, our unconscious behavior. And in our YouTube channel, in Kailasa's SPH and NITHYANANDA YouTube channel, there's more than 10,000 hours of discourses, of satsangs, of dikshas recorded, and even of question and answer sessions between the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the participants of programs, where you can in depth learn the knowledge revived by Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Revived from Sanatana Hindu Dharma by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So you can become a member of the YouTube channel, and you can ensure that you are, if you'd like to, becoming a member. And also you can, if you want to, make an e-Hundi donation on YouTube. You can become a part of this grand revival that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing actively and is leading across the world as a foremost advocate for reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And the only way, the only place where there is a nation for protecting Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And you can become a part of this revival and just start to do whatever it is that you can through this e-Hundi donation, and literally you'll be a part of the grand narrative of the whole cosmos itself, the mission of the cosmos embodied in the human form, and that is the very life of the avatar, the mission to revive Kailasa and to do so much good in this world through the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So with this, we'll now be moving on into the next segments of today's program, and we'll be getting back to all of the viewers.
Nithyanandam, everyone. Thank you, Ma Sadashipriya. So, Nithyanandam, welcome back to the next segment of the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies are now COVID care protection centers. So, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Sandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what we learned from this segment today concerning statistics on mental health and global peace across the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and what are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contributions for global peace, and Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spiritual solutions for COVID-19, Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, some glimpses, and why temple-based ecosystem. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating, and the greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now let us see some of the statistics concerning statistics that painful threshold, the 5 million people dead due to COVID-19 and the third wave in Africa and several other countries, climate change conference and 5 key messages, mental and behavioral health at hybrid work, national emergency in children's mental health. 5 million lives lost due to COVID-19 according to the United Nations Global News. In a statement issued to mark the crossing of this painful threshold, the UN chief said devastating milestone reminds us that we are failing much of the world. While wealthy countries are rolling out third doses of COVID-19 vaccine, only about 5% of the people in Africa are fully vaccinated. COVID-19 cases surge in Africa and the UN urges paid distribution of vaccines. Delta variant and low vaccine access creates a third wave in Africa. COVID-19 cases are surging across the continent with more than 20 countries now in the grip of a third wave. The Delta variant is a big part of this potentially catastrophic surge. With over a dozen countries having detected cases, in Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Delta variant is now the most common in circulation. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has repeatedly urged stopping the spread and mutation of the COVID-19 relies on populations being vaccinated. But access to vaccines in Africa is far too low. Climate and environmental news. As the World Leaders Summit opened on a day 2 of the COP, the UN Chief Antonio Guterres sent a stark message to the international community: we are digging our own graves, he said, referring to the addiction to fossil fuels, which threatens to push humanity and the planet to the brink and through unsustainable global heating. The 5 key messages to the world leaders: we face a stark choice. Either we stop it or it stops us. The 5 key messages: the first one, it's time to say enough and keep 1.5 degrees goal alive. And we must do more to protect vulnerable communities. And COP must be a moment of solidarity built on progress. Mental and behavioral health at hybrid work. Healthcare costs and COVID-19 vaccines and behavioral health challenges are top of the mind. Employers are preparing benefits plans for a new normal and hybrid workforce and are highly focused on addressing behavioral health issues. Employers' biggest well-being challenges are rising stress and burnt out and higher mental health related claims. Employers are prioritizing increased communication to boost engagement in existing behavioral health programs over the next 3 years. Most employers, about 93%, say behavioral health will be a priority for their organization over the next 3 years. 38% who are working from home today desire a more flexible, mixed on-site work from home experience in the future. Pandemic takes toll on emotional and social well-being. 29% say their mental and emotional health has deteriorated as a result of the pandemic. American Academy of Pediatrics. Pediatricians child and adolescent pediatrics, and children's hospitals declare national emergency in children's mental health. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a serious toll on children's mental health as young people continue to face physical isolation, ongoing uncertainty, fear, and grief. Even before the pandemic, the mental health challenges facing children were of great concern, and COVID-19 has only exacerbated them. The numbers paint an alarming picture. Between March and October 2020, the percentage of emergency department visits for children with mental health emergencies rose by 24% for children ages 5 to 11 and 31% for children ages 12 to 17. There was also a more than 50% increase in suspected suicide attempt emergency department visits among girls ages 12 to 17 in early 2021 as compared to the same period in 2019. Additionally, many young people have been impacted by loss of a loved one. A recent data show that more than 140,000 US children have experienced the death of a primary or secondary caregiver during the COVID-19 pandemic, with children of color disproportionately impacted. We were concerned about children's emotional and behavioral health even before the pandemic. The ongoing public health emergency has made a bad situation worse. We are caring for young people with soaring rates of depression, anxiety, trauma, loneliness, and suicidality that will have lasting impact on them, their families, their communities, and all of our futures. We can't sit idly by. This is a national emergency, and the time to shift the and deliberate action is now, says the AACAP President Gabrielle A. Carlson. Amy Wimpy Knight, the president of CHA, added, "We are facing a significant national mental health crisis in our children and teens, which requires urgent action." In the first 6 months of this year, children's hospitals across the country reported a shocking 45% increase in the number of self-injury and suicide cases in 5 to 17-year-olds compared to the same period in 2019. Together with the AAP and the AACAP, we are sounding the alarm on this mental health emergency. Children and families across our country have experienced enormous adversity and disruption. The inequalities that result from structural racism have contributed to disproportionate impacts on children from communities of color, the group stated in the declaration. The organizations are urging policymakers to take several actions, such as increasing federal funding to ensure all families can access mental health services, improving access to telemedicine, supporting effective models of school-based mental health care, accelerating integration of mental health care in primary care pediatrics, strengthening efforts to reduce the risk of suicide in children and adolescents, and addressing workforce challenges and shortages so that children can access mental health services no matter where they live. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020, is no longer recognizable. A drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with the nature is possible if we start now. Making peace with the nature is possible. Even amid pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with the nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip on making peace with the nature. Sorry for the technical glitch. The World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros There cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contact between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the global peace and the current pandemic. Vedic tradition beautifully describes that yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pushyati sarva bhuteshu chapmanam tadona vigagupshate. Isha Upanishad verse 6. Global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or the whole country. If he is powerful enough, like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. So global peace is the byproduct of the individual peace. So how do we achieve that? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully explains the by so many techniques, by practicing completion, by practicing unclutching, and various other techniques. Now let us listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explaining about the completion.
Carrying Vancouver, Canada, Houston, Kalahasti, Enriching. Today I wanted to expand on the science of completion. How the science of completion can directly impact the consciousness you are carrying and the consciousness embodied in many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. Because the more deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana, unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more incompletions you carry with others, even with yourself. The more superficial you become, even your own right hand and left hand fights with each other. Different parts of you fights with you. Different thoughts of you fights with you. Even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with a nature, completion starts happening. Please understand, the more deeper you travel, the more deeper you go, the more deeper you settle down, the more deeper you start living. Your cognition expands. Your cognition includes. Your cognition becomes more and more inclusive. More joy, more bliss, more knowledge, more enlightenment. Please understand. The more and in you, you will see everyone around you feels complete with you. That is why I am saying, whether they have body or they are disembodied, in the deepest corners of your being, deepermost layers of your being, deepest parts of your being, you experience such powerful awareness, such joy. Going into the deepermost corners of your being not only is a joy, it's a power. Because suddenly you will see everybody around you, everything around you listens to you. It really becomes a vibrant power where the tendency to exploit is not there. Listen, that's a very important thing. Power without the tendency to exploit. Because as long as you feel the other person is separate from you, when you get the power, it will always be used for exploiting. Because the other person is separate from you, then naturally what you will feel? Let me suck all the possible energy, intelligence, time, talent, treasure. But when you feel the other person is your own extension, you will see, you will be showering so much, enriching so much. The power you have will not be exploiting, it will be enriching. I tell you, even if death comes at this moment, I can tell you very clearly, I can face the death directly and tell the death, I have enriched every human being more than what I received from anybody. I have given to every human being whom I met in my life more than what I received from them. My accounts is clear. I am ready. Come on, let's go. My accounts is clear. I don't have debt. No credit card money to be paid, loans to be paid, no debit card, no credit card. My accounts is clear. Understand, when you feel everyone is your extension, the power given to you, the power you gain, see, any living is power. Powerful way. Even in that, you will become powerful. So any lifestyle you choose, you will get power in that field. Whether it is exploiting or enriching, murdering or raping or go on serving. Whatever lifestyle you choose, living is power. When you go into the deepermost core of your being and start living based on completion, I tell you, the first power you will experience is everything around you listens to you. That power will simply make you enrich everyone. The best power you can have through living is power of enriching. Whatever you do, as I said, whether you live the life of enriching or exploiting, you will become powerful. I tell you, the power of exploiting brings more and more conflict within and without, and those conflicts naturally bring suffering. And the power of enriching brings more and more completion in you and in others. This full month, Nithyananda Sangha all over the world. The other day I was seeing, we have officially presence in more than 50 countries. As devotees, group of devotees, we have presence in 100 countries. All over the world, we are going to celebrate this whole month for Global Peace Month, impacting global peace. All of us this whole month will live completion and do samskara dahana kriya, means burning the patterns which separates us from others, burning the patterns which are constantly keeping us in a superficial level. All over the world, we will be doing samskara dahana kriya, burning our patterns and leading us to more and more completion. And we also have special 3 Nitya Dhyana Yoga program teaching people science of completion and facilitating samskara dahana kriya. This month, 20th, 21st and 22nd, this whole month all over the world, all our temples, ashrams, centers, yoga centers, schools, colleges, universities should do samskara dahana kriya, should do the practice of burning all the incompletions and patterns which leads to conflicts, bringing more and more peace inside us and outside us, spreading peace. This whole month, let's impact global peace. Let us really contribute to the global peace, not just talking about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not just talking about it. Let's do it. Even if you teach the Samskara Dagana Kriya to 50 people in each area, each place where we have centers, ashrams, temples, two-way centers, yoga centers, even 50 people, each Tanidar teaches, enriches them with this science. The amount of suffering and negative waves, negative vibes reduction can contribute so much to the world. Please understand. One positive person can burn millions people negativity. Experientially, with evidence we proved, one positive person has already burnt at least 20 million people's negativity in last 10 years and brought peace. So each one of you, if you stand up as one positive being, one authentic, responsible, enriching being, I tell you, we can do so much to the world. It will be a better place than the time we entered. When we leave, it should be a better place. That's all. When we leave the earth, it should be a better place. So understand, inner peace is your birthright. Go to the depths of your being. Completion with others and start living Advaita. Today in the Inner Awakening session, it's all about completion with others. So last 6 days, literally, you worked so much, one by one by one by one by one, layer by layer by layer by layer. The completion with yourself. Now comes completion with others. Today we are starting the science of completion with others. It's one of the most powerful science. Does so much to human beings, not just healing their relationships, even inside their consciousness, this inner space, so much of good is done, so much of awakening is done. See, when you have completed with others, the kind of strength you feel is the power of Advaita, strength of Advaita. Today the Inner Awakening sessions are all about completion with others. We have long session today working on completing with others. So with this, because today we have a long session with Inner Awakening, we are also lagging behind the syllabus. Actually, it is a good news. It's not a bad news because participants are so sincere. They are going through the whole process so intensely, sincerely. Because of that, we are little delayed. But today I'm going to catch up. Today I'm going to spend more time and catch up with them, with the syllabus. So, I conclude today with this. I'll move to the next sessions, IA sessions and all that. Because never I conclude. There's no conclusion for satsang. It goes on and on and on. Only the audience change. So with this, I move to the next step. I bless you all. Let you all.
Now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the self-transformation is the secret to achieve global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all.
Listen carefully. The space of Shanti, is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti based Shakti, peace based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness